Bob.
Hello, Zach.
You doing pretty good?
I'm doing well. How about you? Could you interview me?
I could.
Well, good day. It's a privilege to have with us Zach Rogers, a ministry leader and a ministry update on this Tuesday. And we're just grateful for Zach and Sheffy and so forth. So, Zach, thank you for coming. And,
Glad to be here.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about you? When did you and Sheffy meet, and where were you prior to coming to Illinois?
Yeah, so we grew up in Tennessee, and Sheffy and I met at Tennessee Tech University. She came there, I was a senior, she was a freshman, and we began to date my senior year, her freshman year, and ended up getting married December of 2008.
Wow. And she finished education because she's a nurse.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we stayed there for 2 more years while I was on staff at Tennessee Tech with Campus Outreach while she was finishing her nursing degree.
What did God do in your heart to lead you to go with Campus Outreach full time?
Yeah, honestly, it was just I wasn't planning on going on staff, and we took a trip to East Illinois University to go around and just investigate the campus for the staff that were going to come. And during my time there, you just walking around, and I remember after walking around all day, we talked to tons of people and just ask them like, hey, what do you know anything about the Bible? Or do you, how do you think a person would know God? And just after the whole day was over, like not one person had an answer the entire time. We got back and we were all together and we were like, hey, not that there weren't any Christians there, but there's just a sense in which as you're talking, you're realizing like, who knows how many people we talked to today, and not one person that we met had any idea, what the gospel was. And I kind of remember being like, man, what's it going to hurt me to spend 4 years of my life just, trying to start Campus Outreach at East Illinois University? And so it was really kind of simple at the time. Just, I never planned on being in ministry longer than, 4 or 5 years. So
Yeah. And what year was that when you spied out the land?
that was probably like 2007, 8 maybe.
2007, 8.
Yeah.
And you went in and just from scratch, what would that be like? Did you go into the cafeteria and...
Yeah, we spent a lot of time in the cafeteria, a lot of lunches and suppers in there pretty much every day. I mean, we were there for hours. We didn't have anything else to do. In terms of like, it was the easiest way to meet people. You just go in the cafeteria, sit. I'd just get in the pizza line, try to meet the person in front of me. By the time we got our pizza, be like, hey, man, you care if I sit down with you? And then they would leave, and I'd take half my pizza and put it in the conveyor belt and get back in line.
And read.
And just do that over and
That
over again.
is a gift of God that you endured and did that. And God gave you so much fruit. It was tough. You mentioned to me earlier. The first year or two might have been hard, and then it just seemed like there was fruit.
Yeah.
And we're thankful. A lot of our alumni come from Eastern Illinois, and we're very thankful. When did you have children? What are their names?
Yeah, we had our first. I'm trying to think, this is bad. I'm bad.
That's okay. You can guess
2014. I think we had Riz in June, and so he's 5.5. I guess he'll turn 6 this summer in June, and then Raleigh, 2017.
And you were here at that time.
Yeah, we had Raleigh right before we came, and so she was
right
like 6
before,
months
yeah.
old
She was a
when we
baby.
moved here. A few months.
Okay, yeah. And what does Sheffy do?
Sheffy's a nurse at Advocate Broman, so she's actually at work today because our kids are with grandma in Tennessee.
Are there lots of COVID cases?
My
Is the
understanding,
hospital filled?
my
Are there a lack
understanding is
of
there's
beds?
no COVID cases, just some rule outs.
Yeah,
So,
that might happen, might change, but
yeah.
not much. I think I met you in Peoria as I was involved with Olin Stubbs, Mike Jackson, and others, spending time with staff, and I was so glad to meet you and Sheffy. And you were thinking of taking classes at Covenant Seminary. What is your ministry responsibility, and how are those classes going?
Yeah, so classes are going well, almost done. I started Hebrew today, actually, so
Okay.
hoping that'll go well.
You're reading the Bible backwards. the
Right,
Old
yeah.
Testament.
I'm actually just learning the alphabet, so
Yeah.
nothing that big yet. And then as far as ministry responsibilities, I'm the area director over Illinois State and Eastern Illinois University. And so just my job is just to equip and train and shepherd the staff on those
Good.
campuses.
You've got a great group of staff. Who's the main leader at ISU?
Stephen Sauter.
All right. And is there some hope of outreach at Illinois Wesleyan?
Yeah, we're hoping to, assuming that classes are open and stuff in the fall, the hope would be to send Ryan Jennings there full time in the fall.
Oh, that would be great. Well, we're just so thankful, all the students that have been coming and investing in your lives too, in your ministry. It's very encouraging. How is the coronavirus and the shutdowns of ISU's campus and summer project, how is this virus pandemic affected your ministry and your ministry plans?
Yeah, it definitely changes plans. It pretty much pushed everything online. So students, when we got back from spring break, they had already decided don't bring students back, obviously. And so from there, staff continued to do discipleship groups or prayer meetings or different things via Zoom. But outside of that, the staff have really just been trying to get ahead, for the summer, for the fall, just in hopes of any administrative responsibility that they can get ahead on so that by the time fall hits, they'll be really, really freed up.
I recall going to your summer mountain project years ago. I don't think you and Sheffy were there.
Yep.
And teaching or training in identity in Christ with Kenny Hayes and others. Jasmine and others were there. And where is that? What do you normally do in the summer?
Yeah, we typically go to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and students get jobs at Dollywood, and we live at a motel there in Pigeon Forge. And the summer's pretty simple in terms of they work a job, and when they're not working a job, they're typically getting trained in some particular topic, maybe fighting sin or walking by faith. And then there's times of just teaching people how to study the Bible and then teaching people how to share their faith. And so, and then just going out on the strip and talking with various people and kind of practicing communicating the gospel to people.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is we decided to make our summer project virtual, which is weird sounding, and I have no idea how it'll go. But there's kind of pros and cons. There's the reality that, it's easy, it's really accessible. It's virtual, you can show up at the talks and stuff through Zoom. But at the same time, you're not there in person with people, so it's not really that exciting on some levels. But I think it could be cool in that there's a lot more students maybe that will end up kind of getting something instead of nothing if they come. And so we're praying that students will want to come and want to be a part. And we're encouraging as many students as are able to move back to normal, to live with staff or other students who have houses here for the summer, just to kind of be together, and assuming the band lifts and, you can have small groups of people get together. So,
yeah. Well, you all made a big impact. You came, and I think your first strategy was an outreach with basketball. And how did that go? And how many students are involved? How many hear the gospel and things like that?
Yeah, so typically we start each year, and this is something we've done on other campuses, so it was nice to come here and for that to be just something that was a helpful tool to learn, to meet a lot of students. And so we just put on a big basketball tournament at the beginning of every year, make teams, meet students, help them make teams. And so I don't really remember, honestly. There was like 24 teams, and then I don't know how many volleyball teams. I mean, there was hundreds of students out there every night for, a couple weeks. And it was awesome. I would say, I think the first year we were here, I think we fully evangelized, interpersonally, from beginning to end, maybe 150 people. And then it's been somewhere between 100 and 150 every year since then, I would say. And so yeah.
Well, that's great. What is one thing we could pray for you or campus outreach?
Yeah, I think that the virtual S&P it doesn't sound as exciting as your typical summer project.
So people might not have got that virtual S&P means?
that
SMP.
Oh, Summer Mountain Project.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sorry. Yes, our summer project, because it's virtual, just that students would want to come. That it would be like, you know what, it's worthwhile for me to devote however not many, chunks of time this week just to being on there, to learning how to study my Bible, or learning how to share my faith or whatever, without actually being able to go do it like you typically would on the summer project. So it's just trickier.
Yeah. So please be in prayer for campus outreach, as a virtual Summer Mountain Project is really right here in our hometown. And we've met so many of these students who came to a basketball tournament, came to Christ, and are coming to Christ Church. And we're just very thankful. Thank you for coming on and interviewing here, Zach.
Glad to be here.
So good to have you. All right. Bye-bye. We love you.
But I'll send my love to you, and you can call my name, and I will find you. Heaven and hell can't separate our love.
Zach, what do you think of Brad List?
I hear he's a washed-up basketball player.
Yeah.
Then I'll come back. Yeah, I'll